on this beautiful day. Let's go. One way or another. That's how we roll with it. That's how we be with it. Shout out to all the SGs, HBOs, y'all know who you are. The Patreons and beyond. The only mission here is to get out the Dallas Cowboys news and beyond on this beautiful day, right? Dallas Cowboys must go early. That's the part of the program. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Let's go. Hey. Yeah. Appreciate those who follow. Swat it up, baby. Come on. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. Yeah. Mama said it would be days like this, right? Come on. All right. Yeah. Let's go. Come on. Yeah. 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 Come on. All right. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. My name is Law Nation. We're going to hold it down like 5 billion pounds. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Y'all ain't doing nothing anyway, right? Come on. How you stop a tank with no key? Shout out to you, Asmodeus. Appreciate you for jumping in. Come on. Yeah. Hey. Come on. A lot of stuff out here. A lot of stuff. Really appreciate you guys. The Dallas Cowboys, we got less than 15 days before the draft is here. Could be even closer than that, less than 2 weeks, right? The state of the franchise will change. There will be a lot of different things that go on once you get a person that's on your team. There'll be high expectations. There will be some love and adulations toward a player, and that's rightfully so. It will be one of those situations where as we, Cowboys fans, we've been waiting for this moment, right? We've been really looking back since December, November, some before that time frame of saying, hey, we need to get this guy, we need to go get that guy. This person can flip the organization all the way around to the best position, right? We've been talking about this stuff going back and forth of being expert evaluations from the couch, right? Even from this chair I'm in, we'll look at a player and we'll kind of judge the player. We'll put him on a pedestal. We'll knock him down. We will over-evaluate. We'll under-evaluate. That's just how it goes, right? That's football, baby. Hey, they say any given Sunday for a reason. And it's the same on a collegiate level, high school level, middle school level, pee-wee level, right? It's the same. It's the same song and dance. Shout out to you, Chuck. Appreciate you for jumping in. I really appreciate you, Asmodeus, William Burney. Appreciate all of you guys. George, shout out to you, John. I see you over there. Lorenzo's over there, man. I really appreciate you. Italian, the Stallion, Cowboy, I see you. Jacob, appreciate you. And Miss Jessica, thank you for jumping in and putting out the fire. I love it. I love it. So this type of situation is what it is. I got to play an excerpt from Woody. You know, Woody was the last great, and I got to put the word great in there, safety that the Dallas Cowboys had on this team. And when he was talking about his point to 105.3 The Fan, Woody was basically saying that if you want it, you got to go grab it early. Sometimes we would sit there and hear there's a big sale that's going on. And some people who put money back, save some coins, will be the first one in line. Will actually make preparations and plans. Those who plan to fail to plan, right? And I always say this too, and you can apply it not just to just being on the Cowboys side, but just to life in general. It's better to have an opportunity and not have one, than to have the opportunity. No, I even said it wrong. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. See, good that I was able to grab that because I messed it up. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? Always prepare yourself. And even when you fall and stumble, keep moving, right? But you guys get what I'm saying. Shout out to you, Truckee Life 78. I know you prepare yourself. Asmodeus, appreciate you. It's all speculations. Nobody really knows. This is from Asmodeus. Yes. Nobody knows it. Nobody really knows. There's not a crystal ball. Now, pundits and expertise will say, yes, this is a can't miss hit. Think about this. Experts were saying Sam Darnold was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Experts were saying that he got accuracy, he's big, he's standing tall in the pocket, he a can't miss deal. And now we seeing him being traded. Now he's on a whole new team, right? Shout out to you, Jay Lombardi. Appreciate you, Dro. Thank you for jumping in. So Woody was the third. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what round Woody was drafted in. I just know that he was converted from a linebacker to a safety, and he played lights out. And he helped elevate that team. But what he was saying is collectively, the Cowboys still got to go early in the draft. They can't be late. The Jets ruin quarterbacks. This is from George. Yeah, system plays a major role, not a minor. System plays a major role. Where you drafted at plays a major role too. The leadership, the organization. Think about this. I know some people that making $50,000 a year will change their lives, right? They'll look at the world different. That's just at $50,000. Now let's put it at $100,000. In the chat box, if you make $100,000 a year, will it change your life? Imagine making $100,000 a week. You say, oh, that's a whole different lifestyle. Or just imagine making $400,000, $600,000. It changes. Some people, I've heard statements that say that it doesn't change anything. It just reveals who you really are, right? So my thing is, some people can handle it. Some people can't. Some people got outsiders that would influence them to do crazy things, right? So my thing is, that's why it's all a crap shot. There's an old saying going around in the NFL. Once you got your bag, once you got your paper, once you got your money, you don't work out as much. Some people say they don't care about that because they got a bigger goal, a legacy. They want to host that Lombardi trophy. They want to raise that high in the sky. Some people don't even look at the coins, but they look at it like, okay, money is just going to provide me stabilization or respect. Sometimes it's not about the money, but the money shows a level of respect. Think about this, and I'm just going to say this. Constantine says more money, more problems. He ain't lying. Yeah. But money, sometimes you can be disrespectful with it. And it shows in a certain way. If you think I'm lying, go to your nearest Walmart, dollar store, Target. We call it Tarjays in certain locations. And buy something. Just buy a stick of bubble gum. And get the $5 in your hand and crumble it and throw it at the cashier's face and say, hey, keep the change. Let me know what kind of reaction she gets. Let me know what happened to you. But you'll say, man, the bubble gum was nothing more than 99 pennies. She can keep the change. I slapped her with 5, you know. Sometimes money, man, shoot, it depends on how you get it too. All right, so let me play this excerpt. Shout out to 105.3 The Fan. Want to give them credit. KNC Masterpiece. That's a good name. It sounds like some barbecue, you know. Got a brother hungry over here. Nobody know about those Baby Rays. Let's go. Let's listen to
Vince. Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys to truly value the safety position again. We have been fighting this battle for years. It has not been going super.
Let me know if you guys, y'all wonderful people, can hear what I'm hearing. Let me know if you guys can hear that. Give me a thumbs up or something. You know, let me know if you guys can hear that. Yeah. Y'all can hear that good.
Well,
I think if you want a safety and you feel like you need to fill the void of a playmaker in that position, then you probably have to go get one a little early. If you're looking for a playmaker, go get one early instead of thinking through the process of I can turn a special teams player into a safety, or I can go in the 4th, 5th round and find a guy that's serviceable to play that position. If you want a big-time playmaker, it's just part of it. You got to roll the dice and go early, and hopefully you can get them. I remember.
All right, so there's Darren Woodson. We call him Woody over here, and he's talking about the safety role. If you want a good playmaker, you got to roll the dice. Remember what he said? You got to roll the dice. Yeah, you got to. You can't play around with this.
So the Cowboys drafting Roy Williams.
Yeah.
Early in the top 10 picks. And, for 5 years, he gave you Pro Bowls. He gave you one of the hardest hitting players ever to play the game. He was a turnover factory for the team. So
Thanks.
If you want a guy, you got to go get him early. It's like it's no different than any other position. If you want to fill the quarterback position, it would behoove you to go early in the draft and find that spot. And exactly the same thing for any other position.
Sound like my mama. Behoove you. And you got to roll the dice. And Roy, I know Roy get the bad, part of it because of the fact that he couldn't cover as well as most. But it wasn't his fault that the NFL decided to change some of the secondary rulings. Remember, when he was first drafted, you can have physical contact down the field. So all of that stuff changed when your DBs are no longer can get physical beyond 5 yards, and it became more of a pass-happy league right in between the time frame Roy got here, and that's when you start seeing your rangy safeties. But if you go back and look at some of the earlier tapes of Roy, you will actually see turnovers, takeaways, wide receivers, some tight ends sitting there saying, no, coach, no, you gonna sit me across the middle? Nah, dog. No, man. Come on, man. That boy right there, number 31, he's smacking folks. And you know how you know when you're playing good? Well, in Dallas area when they start matching you with celebrities. They said, man, Roy, you playing so good, we're going to hook you up with Kelly Rowland, That's what they do out here in Dallas, You start making good plays and stuff, they're going to find you a wife. They're going to find you something that's doing some stuff too, So Roy was smacking, yow. And when they got more into a, what do you call it, not a PC, but a pass-happy situation, you had the coverage. You got to cover more.
Okay, and that might kind of answer this question then, because I was curious, and we're going to talk about the event you got going now right before the NFL draft in just a minute, but how important is it to have that playmaker at the safety position? Because I have to admit, when we talk about that, that is not usually a position that people list playmaker at the top of their list.
Absolutely, and rightfully so. I mean, when you look at some of the guys over years past, specifically at the free safety position, the guy who can really turn the ball over, you're looking for the Ed Reeds. You're looking for phenomenal players that have ball hawking skills, and they don't come a dime a dozen. So I get it.
Facts.
I get it. But there are also options, like you don't have to just look at the safety position. You can look at a guy like, Patrick Surtain, who's I'm not sure if it's Patrick or not. I remember Patrick Surtain.
Patrick, yeah.
But you're looking for a playmaker on the outside, maybe at the cornerback position, but you can solidify some of your secondary by going early in the draft. And I'm a big believer in, if there is a guy at the position, whether it be a safety or cornerback, you need help on the defense side of the ball. There's a difference maker. You go get them.
All right, so who all in favor of Darren Woodson saying, hey, if there's a guy that that can make a difference, you go get him. Don't wait for it. That sale is going on right now, Oh, my goodness, they got a sale going on. I'm going to wait, another week or so. By the time you get there, hey, man, you missed out, dog. It's all gone, man. Dog. Has that ever happened to anybody? They hear sales, they hear specials going on. Then they wait too long, and then all of a sudden it's gone, right? Just like the stock market, or cryptocurrency now. Everybody's on that. Oh, I'm going to wait, And then a lot of times people like to watch what the others are doing before they make that movement. Don't trust their own beliefs. Don't believe in their own self, basically. Sometimes you got to trust yourself. Get in while the getting is good. Jump on in that thing. Jay Lombardi, appreciate you. Says Slater is a beast. I don't know what film you are watching, George, and Moorridge is solid. Free safety like Grant. Either or are solid. Yeah, that's a great point right there, Jay. And George, appreciate you, man. I love objectivity. We love it when people are able to voice their opinions. Here's the thing. On all of these players, what we're looking for a safety. And I call it just the attitude. I want their mindset to play at least better than Xavier Woods. Can we get a safety that can play at least better than Darian Thompson, right? That's what we're looking for. And we'll be lucky to get 2 starters out of this draft. I know people look at the big number, the 10 numbers, we got 10 draft picks, but we'll be lucky. It'll be considered a good draft if we get 2 starters in a push, right? We'll be lucky to have a dynamic playmaker out of one player out of this particular draft. The draft is a fickle process. It is. So we got to look at players. I know it's hard, but we can't look at them in TCU's system. We can't look at them in Alabama's system. We can't look at players in Florida's system or Florida State's system, because now they will be entering into the Dallas Cowboys system. The players, the contemporaries, the people that they play with and against, it would not be the same. Now they're playing with the best of the best. And now it's time for those particular players to pick up the system, understand the game, the grind is necessary. The sweat equity that you will put into this particular sport, it will be necessary for them to spend extra hours. If they want to be the best, they got to wake up early. My track coach used to always say this: you won't beat me unless you out-practice me. And he was a legend. He was a legend over there from Natchez, Mississippi, Doc Woods. He taught me everything I needed to know in life, basically, as it relates to everything applying yourself. And may he rest in peace. But Doc Woods was always on point. He seemed like he gave us hell, but he was right. He was right. You got to be prepared. You got to eat right. You got to sleep right. And he said, son, you can't dissipate. And I was like, what you talking about? You can't dissipate. I said, what you talking about? I seen you over there with those 2 girls. Don't think I didn't see that, son. We call everybody son. Everybody was his son. You can't be there. You got to track me. You got to run the marathon tomorrow, you know. You got to hold back. I hated Doc for many of years, too. You know, we'll go out of town, story time right quick. We'll go out of town on a track trip, and we'd be already scouting, profiling, looking for them, you know. And, you know, everybody know who ran track. Track girls are always ready, right? I ain't talking about ready. I hope the ladies are asleep. But, you know, they always in shape. You know, they always in that nice figure, dare I say. And, boy, we get out there and all buses, and we be looking around saying, man, woo! Hey, curfew hit. Captain of the team. Everybody supposed to be in bed. Shoot, we sneaking, dog. We sneaking. We trying to get up out of that thing. And see, Coach was smart. Coach got us. Let me tell you how Coach got us. You see, when it was time for us to be in bed and the chaperones supposed to be watching us, we done already buttered up the chaperones, so we sneaking out. We coming down the hotel flights, you know, the hotel stairways. We made it all the way to the bottom, scooped all the way around. And Doc, that joker sleeping on the bus. So he got a bird's eye view. He can see all what we doing. Boy, we try to sneak. And he let us get all the way there, making sure that he know we ain't trying to go grab some ice, so we can't even tell the lie and say we getting some ice. And then he yelled, I see ya. He said, I see ya. Boy, we turned to ghost, boy. And he yelling out loud. It's like 11 o'clock in the morning. We got to be ready. We got to be ready for the track meet the next day. First thing in the morning. Oh, my goodness. But I say all this to say that you got to be ready. See that small time where you thinking about doing other things. The opposition, they in the bed early. They drinking their waters. They eating right. Let's listen to more what good old Darren Woody had to say.
And I think that's been my philosophy. I strongly believe there are some corners early in this draft that they could probably go out that could be game changers. You could have 2 bookend corners. But there's some options out there. I just think if you want to fill the void, you want someone that's going to make a difference and not going to just be a special teamer or a 5th round pick. You'll get somebody early that can make plays for you.
So, Darren, I wonder about this. When you enter the NFL, and I know you kind of made a transition at Arizona State from linebacker to safety, and you had James Washington.
James was good.
Safety, a guy who'd played years in the league. And when you played years in the league, you talked about Roy Williams. You were there to help him out to understand the NFL and the differences, in the levels of league from college to pro.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys do take a safety, let's just say in the 2nd or 3rd round, there's really no veteran safety there to help out that guy understand the league. How tough is that for a rookie to not have a veteran next to him to help him out early in his career?
Well, it's always helpful to have that guy. And I had a number of guys, Ray Horton and James Washington and Thomas Everett, who were there to help me and tell me where the potholes were and how to study and how to prepare. It's something that I came in blessed to have that. But you look around the league and, you've seen guys that have come in the league at the safety position that didn't have mentorship.
Facts.
Figured out a way to get there. Maybe it took them a little bit longer to get there, but I had that advantage. But there's a lot of guys that have come in that didn't have the guidance and still established themselves. Look, that is a part of the draft process that you have to go through. If you're looking for a great safety and you don't have that leadership, well, you better do a deep dive to see if this kid is a self-starter, See if this kid's main focus is football.
Football.
All the little things it takes that in knowing that you don't have that leadership quality, that he can be a self-starter and help himself along the process.
All right, so that was the end of that excerpt there. But Woody is speaking nothing but the truth. Self-starter, right? He ain't trying to climb out of the hotel room, sneak down a flight of stairs, and coach is down there in the bus just sleeping. I don't know. That coach was old. Doc was old at the time. I said, man, this dude don't never sleep, man. But, you see, he did it for a different reason. You see, Doc wanted to win. He wanted to win at all costs. Second place was first place losers, so he wanted that trophy. He did. He wanted that trophy at all costs. And when you lose, oh my goodness, he hated losing more than he liked winning, basically. However that saying go, y'all can put the official saying in the chat. But Doc didn't let you off the hook when you lost. Didn't let you off the hook because he trying to figure out something. If your time was slower, he said, hey, what you eating? It's your diet. What you eating? You dissipating, Leave the ladies alone. Yeah. Charles Van says Slater's first. Slater would be a solid pick. Slater, any of the offensive linemen. Remember what we trying to do with this offensive line, the front five, you do not want them until you need them. That's the proper way to say that. Kansas City Chiefs didn't want them until they needed them last year in the Super Bowl. One of the better quarterbacks you can ever lay your eyes on turned into a pedestrian, turned into an average guy. Like he had a bag full of kryptonites, and everybody else were so off on their timing, so hasting the moment, rushing through their routes, playing basketball with the football, right? So it is what it is. Charles T. says, would you say Jamar Johnson is someone's teams are sleeping on him? Well, so many teams are sleeping on him. Don't hear much of him. This is from Charles T. Well, Charles T., let them sleep on him because Jamar Johnson is a dog indeed. I think that he's a playmaker. I think you can line him up pretty much anywhere on that field. And then he's not a polite guy. Some people are polite when they tackle you. No, he's aggressive. He will slap you and help you look for your teeth when you're looking for them, right? I got to put my slap emoji out here. Well, I don't have the emoji thing, but let me see if I can get my slap out here. That's what he would do. He would slap you and say, hey, you got your jaw on the floor over there? Let me pick it up for you. No, and slap you again. That's what he'd do. Appreciate you, Jay Reese. Appreciate you for the $5 donation there to help grow this thing. Have you broke down the top DBs? Rumors is Cowboys love TCU safety according to Mike Fisher. Shout out to you, Jay Reese. Yeah. DB class. This DB class is so thick. This is a thick DB class, and that's including the safeties and the cornerbacks. So my thing is when you're looking at these particular safeties that's in this class first, you got to pay attention to how they played in their system and what you're looking for out of your system and what you already got. We got a KZ and we got a Donovan Wilson. And I will say this, Keanu Neal, although he's going to play weak side, let's not be foolish and not think that he's going to not ever play safety for this team. So he will be one of those guys like a hybrid. Who are your hybrids out of this particular draft? The guy that I just talked about, Jamar Johnson. Oh, my goodness, he's a hybrid. He's the most elite hybrid out of this particular, and I'll probably stand tall on that, right? He's the most elite hybrid style safety out of this particular draft. Then next will be maybe a Joshua Bledsoe from Missouri, 5'11" kid, but he's built like 205, 206, something around that age range, I meant to say. And he can play down in that nickel. He can flex out to the free. He can go over there to the strong side. In a pinch, if you need for him to blitz off the edge, he can do that as well. Richard LeCounte, he's pretty good. He's versatile in a sense. But I think that he's better at a certain role than the other guys, if that makes any sense. Now, Talano, I've seen some people say, hey, I've seen his name a bunch up in here, but Talano is more of a hitter, not a quitter, right? He's a hitter. Yeah, Holland, Constantine. Holland is a nickel, like from how they were playing him in that role, because sometimes, let me say this too. In college, sometimes you can be so good at a certain situation that it may be a hindrance for you, right? Because how the teams decide to use you may slow you down, because the evaluation for the pros or the next level, they would look at it and say, okay, we will not use you in this like. And all what people seen or evaluate from his college tape may not translate over to the pros tape. If I can make any sense. Richard LeCounte, or how do you say LeCounte, from Georgia. Y'all know I mess up people's names. Y'all leave me alone, KD. Let's see. The film I saw on Jamar Johnson, he couldn't tackle anyone, Law. What film you saw on Johnson? Laugh out loud. Look at the Alabama tape. Dave Walker Vaughn. Look, here's the situation. I want people to understand with tackling. Is Nazardine, is he a great tackler? Oh, let me say this. Is Andre Cisco, is he a great tackler? Is Caden Stearns a great tackler? Do Trayvon Morris tackle better than the other kid that everybody's high on, the 5'11", Adarius Washington? Who tackles better, Adarius Washington or Trayvon Morris? Is tackling attitude, mentality? When you get to the pro level, do they revamp your tackling technique, or they say whatever you was running out there in college, you're going to continue to run the same tackling situation? Let's see. What about Talano? Yeah, he's a banger. Nazardine, yeah. SoCal, Trojan, I appreciate you, Jay Lombardi. No one is good without one, but Zeke is not going to show up if he's there, if he ain't there. In an offensive line riddle with injuries every season, it takes time to start drafting studs again. Okay, Jay, I feel what you're saying. That was a difficult one there. I trade my second for J.C. Jackson from New England, move back into the first, and hopefully the Jets for the 23 and the 20 for the 34th, and get Morridge and McNeil, and we have 3 starters. I thought I read an excerpt today that J.C. Jackson, he actually signed a deal. I think he actually signed a deal there. Ahmad says Washington tackle better and he's smaller. Okay. Here's what I want people to do. When you dig down into the tapes and you look at this right here, how is Washington of getting separation when he's engaged? How is Washington, let's say, for example, you got a guard that's pulling and it's going full head of steam, and you got Washington out there by himself. When you look at the tape, who really evaluates and break that down? I have yet to see anybody break that down. When it's time for him to get disengagement, when it's time for him to get separation. I'm not trying to dog the kid. I'm not trying to say yes because he won a 4.6 40 and his film on the tape appears to be faster. When you go to the actual game, you can see him making plays, but his 4.6 40 Will that be a hindrance? Because we've seen players before. One of the greatest cornerbacks for my time frame, you already know Everson Walls. He didn't run no 4.4. He didn't run no 4.3. But when it's time to turn on the tape and when it's time to actually have the football field, when it's big competition, and I'm not trying to sully or denigrate TCU, but when it's time for that, would that be a problem? I'm just saying, I believe that the kid can make plays. I believe that the kid is hungry. But you got to look at the system that the Cowboys are going to operate out of. We already got a KZ who's 174 pounds. When it's time for him to come down the field, he had all of the hearts, he had all of the love and all of the momentum to meet Ezekiel Elliott, the right decision to meet Ezekiel Elliott in the hole. You can have that mindset, but when it's time for you to roll it up and fight, there's only so much you can do. Our biggest problems with the Dallas Cowboys, we have not had a legitimate safety to come down the field outside of Donovan Wilson, who we had for a spurt, and J.J. Wilcox, who can hit but couldn't cover. See, we was like that show that came out many years ago, right? We got two things, and we don't never have two things that matter. Ham, no burger. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, here's how the draft is. If I go back 4 or 5 years ago, whenever Xavier Woods was drafted, there was not a soul that was sitting here like this. Oh, man, we got Xavier Woods. Everybody, mama, uncle, cousin was jumping up for joy. Oh, we got Xavier Woods. He's versatile. He had 14 interceptions. Oh, he can play inside the slot. He can play outside as a boundary corner in the pinch. And he can come down and field. And on top of that, he can play at the free roll. Man, we got us a dynamic guy. Woo! What a steal. Man, Xavier Woods, man. I've seen people, because I got good enough memory to know that I've seen people, and I ain't going to call y'all out, but I've seen people that say, man, we don't need Earl Thomas. We got Xavier Woods. Man, he can play that safety role. Matter of fact, he will be better than Earl Thomas in the next few years. And then the next year went by, and the next year went by, and here they were right here. They're like, hey, hold on, I'll be right back on that one. Where you at? Let me know if I'm lying. where let me know where I'm lying at. Who was jumping for joy when we drafted Xavier Woods? Who was sitting back like, nah, dog, he ain't gonna be by nothing. Jerry Rice ran a 4.6. Tell me how many times he got ran down. Yeah, you're right. Jerry Rice on the 49ers with one of the greatest offensive coordinators that ever touched his land. And on top of that, Jerry Rice with Joe Montana. Yes, he was able to go into a system that complimented him. I don't think that Jerry Rice, if he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I don't think that we'll be still talking about Jerry Rice. And I think that Jerry Rice, shout out to him, he ain't better than Michael Irvin, but that's a story of a different day. But shout out to Jerry Rice, though. System plays a major role. That's all I'm saying. But we can't look at speed, right? Emmitt Smith wasn't a burner. He never really got caught in the backfield, besides a few times by Darryl Green and all of those boys, right? And then if you want to go by a height situation scenario, Darryl Green, he was no taller than 5'6", and he played for many of years, right? Michael Irvin, he wasn't a burner, right? But for all of the people that we are saying, there's not a burner, we got burners out there who never equate to things too, right? Bryce Butler ran a 4.3 40. He's not world class, right? Bryce Butler had all of the measurables, right? But it goes to show you how the things go. Let's see here. Times were different. Jerry Rice, few in between. This is from Charles. Yeah, times are different, man. Times are different. It's flat out different. Hold on, give me 1 second here. Bear with me for 1 second right quick. about that one. I'm going to play this one right here. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right. Here we go. I got the other audio load. I had to go upload the other audio here. So we got it here. Let me see. The next topic was, could the Cowboys trade a certain player and draft a wide receiver? That's the next topic there. So would you guys be willing to wait on another trade scenario? Let me read some of your comments. Let me see if I can get the comment deal up here so that you all can always revert and go back to the comments. Here we go. Yeah. Bam. There we go. Let's go over here. Let's see what we got here. Aaron, it says, hey, Law, two-part question. If both Mekhi Parsons and Patrick Surtain, the number 2, are still there at 10, who do you take? Second part of my question, who is better game changer and an impact player? I say Parson. All right, so there's a twofold question there, Parson versus Surtain. The Cowboys just made a move on Neal, right? They have very strong love for LVE and Jalen, who is a business partner of Jerry. We don't know who's going to be the other cornerback, the other defensive back on that island there. And I don't think that Jordan Lewis got that longitude and latitude. Reggie Robinson, we don't know about him, right? Anthony Brown, we just see him as a slot guy, and he played decent as the outside corner. I'm looking at it like they looking at the cornerback, 6'1", close to 6'2", Patrick Surtain. It will be more of a sell technique to sell that to the Joneses because Trayvon Diggs had a wonderful first year. So they're going to roll with Trayvon Diggs and Patrick Surtain. They will go with the cornerback. With Parson, by the fact that they might play a lot of nickel, this is a pass-happy league, and although Parson is a freak, I think that they will lean more on the defensive back side of it. Let's see who else we have. Constantine says best weighted music out there. Extreme Assassin says lame. Daywalker Vaughn says I disagree. Law. Hey, we shouldn't all disagree. We shouldn't all agree, right? I want everybody to be on my side. I love the independent thoughts here, and we should, as men and as ladies in here, we should have some good people that disagree, and we should have some people that do agree. And when we open the phone lines up, casually, we should go over those things and voice your opinion, voice your thoughts, voice your reasonings on why you disagree. And let me see, what was the disagreements, though? I needed to just have a show that says, hey, for all of those who want to disagree, Law, if Chase is there at 10, will you draft him or a safety? This is from John. If Chase is there, Chase is more valuable than a safety, in my opinion. By this defensive back class being so thick, from the outside looking in, I would run to go grab Chase if he's there on the board. Jay Lombardi says no trading anyone but picks. Keep your homegrown talent in the house and stop letting good ones leave. Jay, I agree 1,000,000% on that. Now the Cowboys been known to not hold on to their players forever. They've been known to just put a bear hug on them and not allowing the player to breathe, not allowing the player to move on. Or when it's time to get something in return, we really don't do that. The one time that we did do that was Ryan Switzer. And I was kind of, upset when we got rid of Ryan. I thought that the Cowboy Nation was too easy to pull the trigger on him because of that fumble in that Rams game. Y'all remember that? Everybody like, oh, I see the young kid. And I think he saved us in one game. I think it was against the Washington team. He ran one all the way back, flipped into the end zone. I said, yay. But the following year, they got rid of him for Jahad Ward. On top of that, the Cowboys drafted Ryan Switzer before the 49ers drafted their tight end. We could have had that tight end. But I heard a lot of people said that we didn't need a tight end at that time. Kittles, whatever his first name is. Let's say Unproven says, where do you place Jamar Chase compared to last year receivers? I like Lamb. I like the Justin Jefferson kid. Ruggs was up there. Jamar, he would have been up there, man. Matter of fact, I think that some people would pick Chase over Lamb. But Lamb is our guy now. He's 88, and I think that he's bigger, he's stronger, and he's just so elusive yards after the catch guy. And I think that if we get a chance to see Lamb a full year with Rain Dakota Prescott, it's going to be trouble. Let's see here. First round tight ends have not done well. This is from Charles Van. I agree. There was a time where first round running backs didn't do well for a long spurt. And it wasn't until Todd Gurley came about, and then Todd Gurley moved over to Ezekiel, and now they said, okay, we can start drafting first-round talent as it relates to running backs now. But normally running backs used to be out of the first round. T.J. Hawkinson is doing great. This is from Don Burr. Yeah, he's doing great. Barboza, I'm hearing our Cowboys trying to see how to reach to pick number 4, Law Nation. Do you see the Cowboys pulling off that deal at pick number 4? No. Here's my thoughts on the draft. I believe in the hearts of hearts, the Cowboys should, that's the operative word, stay at number 10. Draft whoever's there at number 10, the best player available. If tags are touching on players, you lean on the defensive side because that's where you was worse at last year. But if tags are not touching, if it's the offensive player, if it's the offensive line, that's how your board goes. You grab the offensive line, don't think about it twice. And if it's somebody, dog it, that you really want, you got 10 draft picks. You can't be greedy. You can't hold all 10 of them. You got to wheel and deal. So with all of those multiple draft picks, you can trade back into the first round and scoop up your other player. I think that the Cowboy Nation would still be happy if we go grab a Slater and go back into the first round and grab a Horn, or go back into the first round and grab a Greg Newsom, or go back in the first round and grab a safety. So, well, I think that you can wait on the safety a little bit, but that's a story of a different day. But that would be an aggressive approach, but also a wise one. Now, if you're looking at your board and you're saying to yourself, okay, I'm taking all bidders, right? Somebody going to have to give me a king's ransom for that 10th pick. I ain't talking about some floozy stuff. I want some stuff. If you're going to move up, to my spot, if you want to get on my block, if you want to hang around on my set, Dog, there's consequences and repercussions out here. I'm collecting. I want my money on my block. But hey, that was the price in the market, but it's the price on my street. I want my money, you know. If you're moving over to my block, I want that coin. That's how the Cowboys should approach this thing. They can go grab a dynamic wide receiver or whoever the best defensive player, and then, like Charles says, go back in and trade up to go get Jenkins. That would be nice. Take Joseph or Newsom before they take a broke back Farley. This is from Jay Lombardi. Safety Sean Wade. Yeah, I feel you, Chris. Let's listen to 105.3 The Fan. Let's see. Mario says everybody want to draft Pitts, but let's see. But these are the same fans that was complaining about the defense last season. I don't understand some fans. This is from Mario. Mario, not Luigi, but Mario. Appreciate you. Here's the situation, Mario. What were we complaining about the defense about? Was it necessarily the defensive backs? Was it safety play? Or was it interior defensive front? So I'm gonna let that settle for a while. Who with the 10th pick going to stop the Cleveland Browns from rushing 300 yards? Will somebody say that will be a strong reach if you go draft Jay Tuafile with the 10th overall draft pick because you need somebody to be a run stopper? Or the Levi kid from Washington, will you draft him at 10th overall because you say, hey, we need to stop the run, and then with the 10th pick, I know for sure I can get the best run stopper out of this draft with the 10th. I can go get Tommy from Ohio. Or I can go grab Aleem McNeil with the 10th pick. Or with blinders on, saying, okay, Patrick Surtain. If we insert, let's do this. If we insert either Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn on the Dallas Cowboys versus Cleveland, do they still rush for 300 yards? Let me see what y'all say about that. Dave Walker says, Law, the only way I get off for number 10, it got to be in next year's first. Right, we want some good money off of that. Mario's laughing. I feel you, though. You know, Tommy at 75. I'd do some back flips for Tommy at 75. Let's see. Charles says Parson. Yeah, that makes some good points. Let's see. Parson. Let's be real. Can we be real? Like, can we be real with it? I'm real the way you walk, the way she talk, you know. Let's be real. Let's be real, you know. Y'all want to be real with it? Let's be real. Let's be real. Y'all want to be real with it? Let's be real with it, you know. Let's be real. Who's the best linebacker in this draft? Albert Sanchez. Appreciate you for the $24.99 HBO special. Yeah, who's the best, hands down? Let me see if I can. Where my music at? Here we go. You don't want to play. Come on, where you at? There you go. There you go. Delayed but not denied. Appreciate you, Albert. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Jabril Cox. Come on, man. Bolton. Okay. Come on. Who's hands down the best linebacker in this particular draft? Okay, I'm going to go with Constantine. He says Nick Bolton. Okay. Xavier Collins. And there is news out there that they really like him. Y'all think they gonna really get playing time over LVE, over Jalen, over Keanu Neal? Y'all really think we've seen this storyline before? And I'm not trying to say that the Cowboys, look, I'm not negative. I'm just trying to call a spade a spade. Micah Parsons, Aaron, you really think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to look at Jalen Smith and going to look LVE in his eyes and look at Neal, or even if Sean Lee comes back for a cup of coffee, and say, man, we love what you bring to the table, but you're long in the tooth and you're injury prone, and we're going to fall on the sword and say we made a mistake with Neal. He can't really play safety at 215 pounds, but that's okay. We're going to insert such and such. We seen Francis Bernard make all type of plays last year, but when it got time for the time to play, I'm like, what Bernard? Healthy scratch. We seen the Bradley and I. We was like, man, healthy. I know he's the edge guy. Healthy scratch. Tristan Hill, his rookie year, healthy scratch. We want to get some more reps out of what's the guy that went over there to 49ers, got ranked up like 7 sacks, 8 sacks. Kerry Hyder, I believe. We want to see what we can get out of Kerry Hyder, right? Ryan says LVE need to be benched. Yeah. So my thing is the Cowboys, they do things different. 4-3-4 defense. Yeah, this is from Charles. Yeah. With the Cowboys, this is from John. Go to a 4-3 defense or a 3-4 defense. 4-3 defense. Film does not lie. This is from John A. Dixon Jr. Appreciate you. Yeah. I hope Quinn benches Jalen if the man does the same crap again. This is from Jay Lombardi. Here's how coaches do. They go into that meeting room and for the interview, you got Jerry, you got John Stephen Jones sitting there, probably Will McClay with Chris Hall and all of those boys. They sitting in that interview, round table interview. And the general manager is there, of course, because he's the owner. And he said, this list I have here are the players that I drafted. What are your thoughts on these players that I drafted? And when you're trying to win that job and you're trying to get into the good seat and the good graces of them, Quinn is going to look at it and say, don't worry about this guy. This is what I like about him. He is coachable. I could train him to my system. I can get him right. Coaches are got that God complex. Coaches look at a situation and they say, I can cultivate this thing. I can develop him. Give me time. See, he's trying to win the job. Although he might be saying, man, this guy is trash. I can't do nothing with him. His work ethic is not there. He's celebrating all the time. Yeah, he might be doing this. And I'm not talking about Jalen. I'm just speaking in general. And he might be this. He might be that. Coach is going to be lying to kick it. They're going to try to squeeze themselves in the job. They're going to stroke some egos. If you don't think you can't stroke Jerry's ego to get that job, you're missing out on something. They have to tell Jerry, man, you did a great job in drafting, man. You did a great job of picking these guys, man. I can elevate. The last guy, I'm not going to talk about him, but I think he was using him wrong. But I'm going to show you what I can do with him. And they say, yeah. Because the last thing that these guys want, and I'm not trying to point fingers because if you point fingers, you got 3 pointing back at you. But this is what the last thing they want is to walk in that interview and say, man, you got nothing but trash. I can't work with this. This guy suck. He's late getting off his jam. This guy right here, he don't even know how to open his hips out in space. And this guy turns his back to the opposition too much. I can't do nothing with him. His hands are soft, and this guy and all these guys going to be looking at it like, you talking about my cooking in front of my face? How dare you? The nerves. You telling me how it is straight. That's what they saying in their minds. And then what they'll do is they will send out that letter. We regret to inform you that another candidate has been selected for this position. Y'all know how they go. Whoever got that rejection letter for telling the truth. We regret to inform you another candidate been selected for this position. However, maybe next season we'll keep you in mind. Maybe next season we will reach out to you.
Money,
but don't be discouraged.
Restructuring with Amari Cooper. Doesn't that set up for this situation? The way you guys are talking about these wide receivers, they're so damn good. You take another wide receiver, you get rid of Amari Cooper, you free up a bunch of money.
And I just don't know if your team gets better in year one doing that. You're right. They could have, if they wanted to sign more players, they could have moved Amari's money around, and they didn't. And maybe because they didn't feel like they needed to, and they weren't going to sign anybody extra anyway. And so it was like, well, this gives us max flexibility a year from now with him. But I think it's underrated how important your real-life number one receiver is.
Oh, man, Jeff is spitting nothing but truth. Man, y'all open up some umbrellas. If they got an emoji for an umbrella, put that in the chat for me. Jeff is spitting truth. My thing is, you can't undervalue Amari Cooper. You can't look at it and say, okay, he shows up in certain games and then some games he disappears. You got to look at the full picture. I know it's hard to see the picture when you are in the frame, but look at the full picture. Get out of the frame and look back at it. You got the safeties rolling coverage his way. You got a loaded box because they're trying to stop the run. Most teams, when they try to play the Dallas Cowboys, they say, hey, we're going to allow only one person to beat us. And that's the number 2 receiver. That's the only person. If they catches the ball across the middle, you sting them. Hey, we bracket that, and we roll coverages on Amari Cooper's side. Hey, Gallup, one-on-one all day. Dak Prescott had to start to trust Gallup. It was an offseason, the year that I went down to the Oxnard. I said, yeah, shoot, that Gallup, he's on one right now. That combination with Dak to Gallup is going to be nice. And it happened. Gallup had to get used to catching the ball that 50-50 and pulling it out of the sky and make it more so maybe a 60-40 or a 7-30, right? So what happened here, collectively speaking, Gallup became that true X position on that field. In this particular setup, Kellen Moore's style of offense is still a derivative of Scott Linehan's. It's a vertical threat offense with some shades and sprinkle of some West Coast principles. Now, we see some motion before the snap or what have you, but it's still vertical routes. These are not your out routes or what have you. These are not designed routes for underneath and digs underneath and these sorts. It's not that, because I don't see that. I see still shades of your ex-dominant receiver vertically taking it up the field, and in a pinch, that receiver will be one-on-one on the outside because he lined up isolated by himself, and he must eat. That's the bottom line. He must eat. So what happened here is you go back to the very first game, Jalen Ramsey versus Michael Gallup. Jalen Ramsey lost on that route. Jalen lost on that route. He was in a trail position. Gallup beat him. And anybody that watched Gallup when he run his routes, his first year, when I talked to his wide receiver coach, with me, Big Game James, and Skywalker, we had a chance to talk to his wide receiver coach. And he said, man, we worked with him at the top of his route. He is so physical. Remember his first year, he was good at the top of his route, but he would lose concentration and the ball would fall off his hands. But, man, when Dak was hitting that thing right on the money, he would catch it. Physical at the top of the route, you can't get physical, and he gets separation at the top. Gallup was doing that. And you saw that flag of hater on the field, right? The flag came out. But my thing is, and of course, the Jalen was acting in these sort of thing. I'm talking about Ramsey. But if you say to yourself, okay, let's now remove Amari Cooper off this situation. We don't have enough evidence, whether it be college tape or NFL tape, that CeeDee Lamb can live on the outside, right? And I'm not saying that he can't, because I think the kid is dynamic. I think that he can eventually play the same role as Gallup, but there will be a whole nother year of growing pains. I don't think that right now the Cowboys should move on from Amari Cooper and bring in another receiver that's going to have to go through some growing pains. And I guess you will flip Lamb to Amari Cooper's side. I guess he'll be Amari Cooper's role. And I guess you would take, whatever wide receiver, Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase, which will be nice, and you'll put him in as a slot situation. Because I don't think that Gallup, the way he runs routes, that he runs from the inside, he's normally just on the outside by himself. And that's a whole year of the quarterback got to get used to the receiver, get on the same page. It can happen in certain systems, but not in this particular system. I don't like that look. But if you're doing it for contract sakes and you're saying, okay, I can get some more draft capital for Amari Cooper and not pay said Amari Cooper or get away from his contract, I don't know about that, man. You burned a first-round draft pick to get Amari Cooper, right? Yeah. Let's listen to more what they have to say, though. Let me rewind so you guys can get a full grasp. I was just talking too much on that. I was giving you guys my lawisms. Y'all know how they go. Let's listen. Let me rewind a little bit. Let me go all the way to the beginning. Y'all can hear the intro music and everything.
When it was time to open up money, did they avoid restructuring with Amari Cooper? Doesn't that set up for this situation? The way you guys are talking about these wide receivers, they're so damn good. You take another wide receiver, you get rid of Amari Cooper, you free up a bunch of money.
And I just don't know if your team gets better in year one doing that. You're right. They could have, if they wanted to sign more players, they could have moved Amari's money around, and they didn't. And maybe because they didn't feel like they needed to, and they weren't going to sign anybody extra anyway. And so it was like, well, this gives us max flexibility a year from now with him. But I think it's underrated how important your real-life number one receiver is. I love the receivers in this draft. But if I were to add, let's say, my favorite one, which is Jalen Waddle, Alabama wide receiver, he would line up in the slot. He is a blur. You can't cover him one-on-one. It's not humanly possible. There's no human in the NFL that could cover him one-on-one.
Wow.
I still want Amari Cooper on the field with him. I still want a real-life number one so that now my game-breaking speed guy is not the guy that you get to put all the attention on. To me, Amari Cooper is super valuable to this team. Gallup is expendable. CeeDee's important, but he can play any of the receiver spots. I think Amari's the guy. If you give him up, I think you're giving up the advantage of your awesome offense.
Wow.
Wow. Somebody give. Yeah. That was a good one for my dog Jeff Kavanaugh, man. Oh my goodness. Waddle. I talked about Smith, but I didn't talk about Waddle. Is he Tyreek Hill? Y'all put that in the chat box, because I don't see him built like Tyreek. Tyreek Hill is built like a teenage mutant ninja turtle, compact build. I mean, the dude had a poor hammock, he still roll out there. And one time I seen Tyreek Hill get used and abused when he do those little training camps with the kids. Yeah. And I'm not finna go there and say that. Let me read some comments, because I don't want people to say that he's better than Tyreek Hill. Trade down is from Alfredo Rodriguez. Says trade down and select Jalen Phillips, and then trade back up and select Trayvon Moorridge. You're doing a lot of trading, man. Got to find your dancing partner too. They probably don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Dave Walker says next year staff offense, Dakota, Zeke, Cooper, Lamb, Gallup, and Pitts closing the game out in 12 personnel with Jarwin and Pitts. I said it. Yeah, he said, let's go get it. Dave Walker, Vaughn. All right. Cooper is quick at his release when he is healthy. This is from K Love. D-Law. Should Dallas sign and trade Gallup? It looks like they're going to do a prove-it deal with Gallup. They're going to do like, okay, we want to see what you can do type of situation. It will be the Tank Lawrence scenario again, and it will be, who else they had on a prove-it situation? Dak Prescott scenario again. Those are the route that I'm believing that they're going to do with Gallup. I don't see the Cowboys trading anybody. I just don't think that Jerry would do that. And normally I'm wrong on these type of things, right? Jackie, appreciate you, Miss Jackie. We the only team that counts the money. Yeah. They count that money. Miss Jackie, they some good, man, we got some good money around here. Some good accountants over here on the Dallas Cowboys team or fans. Marcus B says Gallup would cost us 16 to 18 milli. What money are you saving? Law. Well, 16 to 18 milli will be low-key a discount because the NFL just signed $100 billion, let me say that, $100 billion Amazon TV deal. I got a notification from Amazon. They're trying to do some new things with the NFL. They're going to start airing games without broadcasters. That's saving even more money, right? Because, and they're getting more revenue. Think about this. A broadcaster, let's say, for example, Tony Romo. He's making anywhere north of 17 to 18 million, right? If I don't have to pay somebody that's money back in my pocket. I can do R&D, you know. I can do a ton of things with that money, and they're going to put the game out there, and it'll just be live audio, like documentary type of style. That's going to be dope. That's a brilliant concept. Amazon is changing the game. So all of the games that they're trying to do, they're going to roll out a plan that is going to be streaming. So let's say we get tired of hearing Joe Buck and Troy. We can go to Amazon, turn on the same game, right? Because if they have rights to it, and you can just listen to the players. Down, set, hut, hut, up. God dog it. Oh, he's at my feet. And I think they stole some of that concept from the XFL, right? You know, we hear when he was calling, you know, the play that was in the huddle. That's going to be dope. That's going to be flat out dope because you don't hear the announcers or anything. And you, Y80, you know. You know, we gonna be learning a lot of football and plays and stuff like that. That's gonna be dope though. Let's see here. Still have a salary cap. This is from Charles. Yeah, you still have a salary cap. But that salary cap is gonna be huge. It's gonna be big, man. It's gonna be big. The cap number is gonna be big. But I feel what you're saying. There'll be too much money to pay Gallup. And without this and that, I feel you. But teams do what they want to do. Teams do what they want to do. Can you rewind live plays? It's Jackie. Maybe so, yeah. You can rewind. Amazon, I'm going to have to find the link and I'll send it out to you guys. But Amazon is thinking outside of the box. And think about this. Amazon already is on it. You know, look, I can order a trampoline from Amazon and it'll be here tomorrow. At 8 o'clock, he has somebody knocking the door. And then you open the door, they gone. They driving off, and the trampoline box is in my front door. That's how crazy and fast Amazon is. It's fast.
That's important.
Yeah, and I'll tell you another thing, General, that I really do like your plan about moving on from him if you could. But I like it. But do you trust them to spend the $20 million on defense to get the right player?
Right. Do you trust?
That's where, I mean, you know, you're talking about having a savings there. You're going to save $20 million, and you can go and invest it in defensive help and all that. it scares me when you start to talk about investing money into somebody that way.
And it might be a foiled plan because anybody that you're trying to trade him to has so many wide receivers available now, and they just got through free agency. It's probably a plan that will come into, more possibility next year or next offseason. But I do find it fascinating. Well, go ahead.
Well, real quick, though, he had a chance to go to Washington, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you trade him right now, Jeffrey, to the football team for the 19th pick?
No.
That's a great question.
Hell no.
Long term, it's probably a good idea. Short term, it's probably a bad idea. So the answer is your plan to win the Super Bowl this year? And I think it is. That's your
Can't
plan.
win the Super.
I've been like,
You get nothing.
I would have been like, no, think about it. Washington team. They got my dog Curtis Samuels, right? And they got Scary Terry. And if you throw in Amari Cooper, who anybody can say, well, he's only going to give you 7 games. I guarantee you one game he's going to show up on. And we play inside a turf too. Dome. Come on, man. And they got the tight end that we could barely cover last year. Shout out to the Thomas, right? And they got a stout defense. You gonna trade inter-rivalry one of the players who took a discount to play for you so you can get the 19th pick? I wouldn't even look. No. No. You can't do that. Don't y'all know how much we will be giving away? The Washington team will be like, when they get the phone call and they say, with the 19th pick, the Dallas Cowboys, we can get Amari Cooper, Scary Terry, and we got Samuels, and they got somebody else. I forgot his name at the tip of my tongue, and they got Thomas. And we got to play him twice a week. Yeah, we said we saved some money, baby. We got the 19th pick. That's Look, the 19th pick could be Taco Charlton 2.0. Knowing us, man. No. Let me play it again. Just thinking about it.
No.
No. Oh my goodness, man. Let me rewind. Let me let y'all listen again.
He had a chance to go to Washington, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you trade him right now, Jeffrey, to the football team for the 19th pick?
God, Jeff. I wish I could show y'all
That's
the
a
picture of
great
Jeff.
question.
He like,
Long term, it's probably a good idea. Short term, it's probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
So the answer is your plan to win the Super Bowl this year? And I think it is. That's your
Can't
plan.
win the Super Bowl this
Is
year.
that your plan?
It is their plan. You're right about that.
your plan
Yeah.
should be win the Super Bowl,
there's
baby.
What's the smart thing to do, and then what are the Cowboys likely to do? I think is the exercise.
I don't think they would trade him, though, in that situation, though. I just thought I'd ask, but I think he was your best player on your team last year. And in a year of, when guys aren't playing, with Dak not playing and the tackles not playing, he was the one guy that, some of those things that we were worried about him on the road, people shutting him out, him not being ready to go, I think that he kind of put a lot of that on the back burner, the way he played overall, dealing with all those quarterbacks and stuff like that, the way he played.
I mean, you're not confident that a CD Lamb and one of the receivers you take and Michael Gallup, you're gonna have a great wide receiver core,
A young one.
and maybe Amari Cooper's upside is 10% better than what those guys can bring to the table. But as a collection, you're so damn good. You're going to find people over every time you drop back, and I'm thinking, pick up an extra pick, save money. It is an interesting deal, the Cowboys.
Let me say this, man. You don't trade away your strong suit, You just don't do it. I don't know. Look, I feel what they're saying with the topic, but you just don't trade away your strong suit. Wide receiver core is straight. Let's look at it like it would be better for us to approach Amari and say, okay, we're going to move some money around. We can get, I think in his contract, it's enough room in there to get about 12 to 13 million, milli, as they say. And you got 8 on the shelf. And I know you got to pay how much this rookie class is going to cost us, what, 6 or 7 million? So roughly you're looking at 14 to 15 million dollars if you kind of work something out, and somebody else if you move some money around. That's for one more good player. There will be a wave. I know a lot of people are talking about Sheldon Richardson, right? He'll end up going to the Chiefs, or he'll end up going to the Green Bay Packers or the Patriots. Maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will pick him up. He's not coming to Dallas, right? We just see this stuff happen over and over again. We got to figure this out down the line, but you don't trade away your best asset. It's equivalency of looking at that front for the Washington team, and you're trying to scratch your head and say, okay, we can get rid of one of the Bama boys, but no, every piece on their front solidifies that front. That's why they're dominant. And I know that it's a different type of argument, but you don't want to start breaking away their identity. Now, the identity of this team, we've been lost for a minute because we don't know. Like, we started off with the Garrett administration as a run-first team, right? A team that's going to run. We chew up the clock, and we play solid defense, bend but don't break. That used to be our identity. Now we got a different type of a coach. We got a different type of culture, too, as it relates to the defense. So we got to establish our defense. The good news, Cowboy Nation, can your defense, or not establish a defense, but establish an identity. The good news is, I'm going to ask y'all, Jim Law, appreciate you. JP, I see you over there. Charles Van and Gerald Evans, John A. and Jessica. Jessica, let me know. I'm going to ask y'all this. It's not a trick question, but I'm going to ask you guys this. Can you establish an identity of a team within 1 year? Can you establish the identity of a team within 1 year? Is that something that takes 3 to 4 years to establish, or do it take 1 year to establish? Let me see. I'm going to read your comments. I love y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all for watching at this time of night. Y'all can be getting some libations. Y'all can be at the club, right? But y'all at Club Law, right? Right. Michael Jones says, absolutely, the key word is team. Yes, that's a good one. No, that's crazy. It's from Charles Van. The X-Skins, I like that name. D-line, won't nothing be compared to having our healthy O-line. Yeah, if we healthy versus there. Yeah. Amen. Joey, appreciate you, John. So, yes, it says stick to one thing, run down the damn ball. Yeah, run the damn ball. Yeah, shout out to you, Edgar. Appreciate you, Garcia. Only 1 year. So the Washington team, they established, and I know it's only 1 year. So now we need to see if they're going to keep that same energy. Because if you do something 1 year, in order for it to be establishment, in my opinion, it got to be 2 or more years. So their identity for the Washington team is we're going to punch you in the mouth, we're going to try to run the rock, and we got this defense going, right? So we'll see whether or not they're going to keep that energy for the 2021 season. All right, so the Dallas Cowboys injury came about, and we don't know what this team is going to be. We don't know if it's going to be running on a first down. We know that the previous year in 2019 and 2018, they didn't believe in analytics. And I don't think that by looking at Mike McCarthy, I don't think that he believes in analytics, but that's a story of a different day. He could be, because he said, hey, I'm going for it. I'm aggressive. I read all of the analytics. We're going to go for it on 4th and forever. We're going to go for it because the analytics shows that we can get here and get there. So maybe we'll be an analytical type of team, right? I don't know. Maybe we're going to be a team, a gamblers type of team. 4th 4th and 15. Dak Prescott, he's under center. He drops back. He scans the field. Oh, C.D. Lamb is open. Touchdown. Maybe we be one of those type of teams. Oh, it's 1st and 10. Cowboys line up in I formation. He's put the ball in the belly of Ezekiel Elliott. He runs the ball. Oh, he's to the 20. You know what I'm saying? To the 10. Touchdown. Maybe that would be their team. Lining up in I, line up in power, running the ball. I don't know. We don't know. Nobody got the crystal ball. We don't know what this team is going to do. But I do know what the Washington team is going to do. They're going to play good, sound defense. They will try to hit you in the mouth, and they still scrambling for a quarterback. Let's see. Lance Bell. Yeah, let's see. It went away. Here we go. You can introduce it in 1 year and establish it. Yeah, you got to have, here's my beliefs on that. When a new coach enter a program, that's why I like Urban Myers. I'm really going to be watching Urban, what he do down there in Jaguar land, and see what he's going to establish the year one. Now, he's a little slimy, I know, but we're going to see what he's going to establish and see if there's a drastic change from last year Jags to this year Jags, right? We're going to be looking. We're going to be like this. We're going to be looking at them, right? So we're going to do the same for this year. We gave Mike McCarthy a mulligan. So now me, Jesse Holly, when he was on the show, he was saying that he didn't get a chance to see the fingerprints of Mike McCarthy on this particular team. So now we're going to be looking and saying, okay, what change? What's going to be different from the previous year before that, and the previous year before that? Because everything looks the same last year outside of us going for it more, right? Everything kind of looked the same. So we're going to be looking. We're going to be waiting, right? Dak for MVP, get Pitts. Dak going to be comeback player of the year and MVP. Watch. I said it first, right? I'm just playing. Trade Jerry Jones, laugh out loud, Charles. Yeah. I seen team lose chemistry in 1 year. Yeah. Hey. What team lost chemistry in 1 year? Cry, Eagles, cry. Hey, by the end of the year, we was like, the Eagles made a later rest, right? They were saying they were going to go on multiple Super Bowl. They were saying that they were going to do a repeat. Remember that? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Those Eagles, man. But shout out to them, though. I can't wait to see how they crash and burn this year. Jimmy didn't excel in Miami, to use an analogy. Jimmy J didn't excel in Miami. Are you talking about his collegiate years, or are you talking about his pro years, right? Jimmy Johnson in Miami never had a losing season. And matter of fact, Jimmy Johnson in Miami, they've had 2 playoff wins. Since Jimmy retired, gone off, now he got his Hall of Fame jacket. The craziest thing of it all, Cowboy Nation, since Jimmy retired from Miami, we only got 1 more playoff win than Jimmy Johnson. Ain't that something? That's crazy information, right? But, it is what it is. What chances are getting Jamar Johnson, Jason? I don't know. It just depending on where they value him, right? Can we beef up our D-line like Washington? JP, I think that's, I'm going to just say your last name, the JP. JP, here's the situation. Washington stank for a couple of years, and they got multiple draft picks. But what I want people to understand, the Washington team and pieces of the New York Giants team, they was drafting. The reason why they got that front that's nasty now is they were drafting to combat against Ezekiel Elliott, because they're looking at it like, man, the Cowboys got this massive front 5, and they got this excellent running back that's leading the league in rushing. We got a draft to stop Ezekiel Elliott. We need some run stoppers. We need people that create pressure, get Dak Prescott off his marker, and that's why they drafted their front. They would never drafted that front like that if they didn't have to face the Dallas Cowboys. Think about from their mindset. They're looking at it like, man, the Cowboys, they got a brilliant philosophy. We at the bottom, man. We in the last place in this division, year in and year out. We need to find ways to stop the Dallas Cowboys front five and Ezekiel Elliott. We need to beef up. We went and got that Bama boys. They went and got this guy. They even went and got Reuben Foster. They were sitting there like, man, we'll do anything. They even got one guy that shot up someplace, you know. I don't think that he ever got a chance to play it down there, but they was looking at it like, man, we need to beef this thing up to stop them. And the Giants said, you know what, we need to do the same. Matter of fact, last year was their first time in over 5 years beating the Dallas Cowboys, I believe, right? Or something like that. It was some crazy number, or beating Dak Prescott or something like that. Whatever that number was, you know. But they drafted to stop Ezekiel Elliott. I know I could be off on that, but, you know, y'all can help me out. But the Washington team, the Giants team did the same. They said, look, man, we're going to have to wheel and deal to get some big boys. And what the Eagles did, they just went and started calling, picked up the phone and said, hey, Tommy Jerrigan, whatever that big boy is, come on down, man. You won a spot. You know, they was trying to figure out ways to beef up that line too, because they knew that they had to go against the Dallas Cowboys. They already had Cox. But they said, man, let's pick up the phone line and stop this thing, man, and let's stop this Ezekiel Elliott situation. Let's see. Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown is a dog, man. I like Bobby Brown.
Did not, choose to exercise the option on his contract, though. People are crushing me for this Amari Cooper thought. Keep in mind, you questioned his heart and his durability.
I just don't know how you and I feel.
I don't know either. I don't know how you're not trusting your draft evaluations of guys like CeeDee Lamb and these three awesome dudes who could go in the top 10.
I love them, but
yeah.
But by what increment are they even better because they're not the best one?
Okay, but this is Porzingis, right? He finally had a good year where he stayed healthy, right? He's been a disappointment more than half the time. A team gave up on him because they didn't know how much he loved the game, right? So to me, you have a chance to sell high and to get a better pick back in return, save a bunch of money, address your defense, and also use your 10th overall pick to take the best player.
This guy's really on the I want to trade, crash and burn the Amari Cooper's train. Let me see what Amari Cooper did. Y'all bear with me, man. Let me see if I can pull up this right quick. No. Because he's really against Amari Cooper. I didn't know he had that much of vicious attentions. Let me see what I can pull up. Amari Cooper's. I'm looking up his stat line because I gotta make sure before I say anything that I'm on the right page with everything. All right. What year he came to the Dallas land? It was 18, right? 2018. Since 2018, Amari Cooper had 75 receptions, 1,000 yards. He averaged in 2018 13.4 yards per catch, 66 yards per game, 7 touchdowns. He had 2 fumbles his first year and 3 drops his first year. Let's see his production points. I don't know what they call that, but that's 140. Let me see if I can help everybody out so that you guys can see the same thing I'm seeing. So just bear with me. We're going to build this thing while it's in the air. If I can find that toolbox there. Here we go. Bear with me because I want you guys to see this too. Let's see. Go right here. Go properties. Bear with me. Bear with me. Hail Mary. Let's go to it. Are you guys able to see this? Y'all let me know in the comment box. This is Amari Cooper's. I'm blow it up. I know it's kind of, they use the wrong font color. It need to be black so you guys can see it better instead of gray. All right, so we looking at this. So yeah, somebody says, yeah, Santi, appreciate you. All right, but I can't see it. Let me see if I can see it. Let me lock this one right here. Bear with me. Hail Mary, run with me. What do we have here now? All right, so 2018, I know you guys can see this. He had 838 snaps. You might have to turn your phone sideways. 107 targets, that is 75 receptions. You want that number to be a little bit at least at 85 to maybe 86, but I'm not going to hold him to that. 1,000 reception yards, just made it over 999. So he had 13.4 yards per reception. Yards per game is 66.9, and this was a half of a year. People judged Amari Cooper like Dak Prescott had him his entire career, but it was a half a year. 7 TDs, 2 fumbles, 3 drops. 3 drops, and then 2019 went around. He had 79 receptions. The 75 to 79 is an increase. That 1,000 yards to 1,100 is an increase. Yards per reception is 13 greater than 15. No, right? So 15, so that's an increase. He averaged 74 yards a game. Is that better than 66? All right, so instead of 7 touchdowns, he had 8 in 2019. Is that better, right? Now, of course, 7 drops is better than 3, so he had more drops, so that's worse right there. So his drop category in 2019, a full season under Dak Prescott, this was the year they went 8-8, I believe. That is a bad situation, right? The 7 drops. But I recall when I did the same numberings, let me see if I can do this right quick. I'm going to do it on the fly, and I know people are going to hate me for this one, right? I know people going to. I recall, let me see. I can't spell word for dog, but I got it there. Okay. I spelled that name, right? I recall when I look at his stats, bam, 2018, he had 115 receptions, 1,500 yards, right? He had 11 touchdowns. He had 2 fumbles, and he had 0 drops, right? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong year. There you go. 2019. Yes, this is the year. 104 receptions. Yeah, because that was a bad year in 18. That joker was catching everything. But in 19, it was very similar to Amari Cooper's. But he had 104, and then he had 11 yards per receptions, and he had 77 yards, 7 TDs, and 6 drops. That's 2019. Don't look at 18. 18 was just a dog. Man, that joker right there, I'll kick some receivers off the bridge to get that right there. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? That's DeAndre Hopkins, man. That joker can hop, okay? So when we look at 2019, just follow me. Follow me, baby. 2019, this is back to Amari Cooper. And I'm not saying Amari Cooper is better than a DeAndre Hopkins, right? Because, y'all had to say, Law, man, you must got that hand, dog. You must got that hand. But I'm looking at with less reception numbers and the equivalency as far as reception yards and more yards, what have you, reception and 74 yards per game, 8 touchdowns and 7 drops opposed to his 6 drops because he's dropping, and he had 1 less touchdown. Similar comparison. But I know you got to go by game and all this stuff and who throwing the ball, but all this stuff. But you guys get what I'm saying. It's like if your argument is that in 2019 and 18 he wasn't worth the value of the pick or what have you, that's a reach to me because it's still in the same wheelhouse. Now, we all know what happened in 2020. He didn't have his quarterback. But it's crazy because his production increased even more. I know you guys got to squint your eyes to see this, but that's 92 receptions. That's more than 79. That's more than 75. That was his most ever. And of course, he had more targeted, too. He was 130. So he had his numbers went down far as his yards per game went back to 69, but it was better than his first year with Dak Prescott, and he had 5 TDs and 3 drops. I'm looking at this total right here. If you had your primary quarterback for the remainder of the year, this number would have been crazy. I think that he turned the corner. I think that he's comfortable within the confines of the Dallas Cowboys system. And I don't really want to go and look up other number 1 wide receivers for the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm going to just give y'all a cheat note real quickly. His number's been better than any of the other wide receivers that we had as our number 1 in the previous years. So this is all I'm going to say on that one, Cowboy Nation. So we got to get out of the mindset of saying that this guy is trash, and we got to get out of the mindset thinking that a rookie is just going to come up here and walk on water. There's a lot of nuances and a lot of stuff that goes with this. Let's read some of y'all comments. I hope y'all ain't crucifying me over here. Damn, in 2017, he had 10 drops. Yeah. It was crazy for him. It was crazy for him in 2017. He was playing basketball with the football. Cooper's still good. We need to keep him until he retires. What website is this? Let me grab the website for you all, and that way, wham, bam, thank you. There you go. Let's see. Eddie O, appreciate you for jumping in. Thank you so much for what you do for the nation. What's Cooper's age? Oh, y'all want to get all into let's get all into it then. Y'all want to get into his age and everything. Bear with me. Here we go. Bear with me. Let me give y'all some soft mellows, man, while we doing this. Let me give some soft mellows. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. He's 26, by the way. He's 26. Can y'all see that? He's 26. 5-year, 100 million. Not bad. And then if I go over here, let me see how old this man is. He's 28. DeAndre is 28. 7-year pro. Mari, 6-year pro. So y'all get it. Y'all see how this thing goes, right? I didn't know I can look at the age from here. Bam. The age is right there the whole time. Yeah. So, Alabama product, right? So Coop is 26, even younger, But I'm not trying to say that Coop is better than DeAndre Hopkins. We're not going to go down that route. But what I'm saying is that he's our DeAndre Hopkins, if that's the case, And different style of wide receivers, different type of technique with wide receivers, by the way. One is a high point, I'm going to dog you out, aggressive at the top of the route. And then this guy's a nuanced route runner. Whereas DeAndre, let me tell y'all something. Even when somebody's on him, he's open. So he can high point the ball like no other. And he got sneaky feet. And it's like his movement is so smooth when he breaks. And he's strong for his wiry build. He's strong. And Coop, he's just going to cut you like a knife. Smooth off his release, too. But he's kind of boxy at the top. He's not necessarily going to high point the ball, but he's going to shield and block you out the way. I love when that part come in. Oh, come on. Yeah. All right. Come on. Hey, don't trade Coop. Don't trade Coop unless you're going to ride in a coupe, baby. That CD coming out late May, early September. I hope you guys remember. Let's go. Y'all get it. So, I'm not in the business of trading one of my most valuable assets. Shout out to you, John. Thank you for jumping in. Law, look at Coop's stats against Philly second game and Pats in 2019. 2019, that was a horrible game. It was a game in the monsoon, by the way. And I know I sound like an apologist when I say that, but I think that Coop excels better in a better conditions in that. And if you go back, I think that even Stephon Gilmore said that the plays were already tipped. We already knew what route they was going to run. And as a DB, look, you're looking for every little tendencies that a player would do. And if you already know the route concepts, baby, DB's going to sit back like this, dog. They will sit back like this, and they're going to sit on that route the entire time. And if I know you're going to run that crosser, all I can do is space myself this way, give you that lane, and once I know you finna break, yak him, I could jump right in and undercut that ball. And Gilmore, as skilled and as technique as he is, he can sit on that hip, ride it all the way through, and if he knowing that you're going to be at this spot, yep. So it wasn't like I didn't get this intel, and I was saying, okay, yeah. But he done already said it from his mouth, not mine, that he knew which route that they was running and the concept that they was doing. I don't know about you guys, but it's hard to win one-on-ones when people already know it. I think that it was Dez Bryant that was eating up Jordan Lewis, and Dez Bryant was sitting there saying, man, I'm killing you, and you already know which route I was going to run. Y'all remember that clip? Dez was going off on Jordan Lewis. 6'2" Dez going off on a 5'9", 10 guy, right? But y'all get the concepts of it, right? Let's see. And the Eagles game, that was just a horrible one there. I think that if that game was played again under different circumstances, we know what happened with those crazy Eagles. But that's a story of a different day. Shout out to the Eagles, though. I'm glad that they beat us that year, by the way. Mad when it happened, but glad because now we got CD. We wouldn't have had a chance and opportunity to get CD if we would have won, right? Poor coaching and terrible quarterback. Dalton, this is from Charles. Who cares? One game versus Philly. The man is our best wide receiver. Let's talk about the real stuff. This is think Amari is bad. You don't know football. This is Constantine. Yeah, Constantine. Like, man, let's talk about the real stuff. You know, I would say the other word, but they'd take my channel down. You know how they go, right?
I think that's 3D chess right there.
You could. I think you're taking hurt
And his durability.
I just don't know how you and I
Track though. People are crushing me for this Amari Cooper thought. Keep in mind, you questioned his heart and his durability.
I just don't know how you and I flipped on him.
I don't know either. I don't know how you're not trusting your draft evaluations of guys like CD Lamb and these three awesome dudes who could go in the top 10.
I love them, but
yeah.
But by what
the unknown
are they even better because they're not the best one.
Okay, but this is Porzingis, right? He finally had a good year where he stayed healthy, right? He's been a disappointment more than half the time. A team gave up on him because they didn't know how much he loved the game, right? So to me, you have a chance to sell high and to get a better pick back in return, save a bunch of money, address your defense, and also use your 10th overall pick to take the best player. I think that's 3D chess right there.
You could. I think you're taking a step back on the part of your team that's how you're going to win. Is your passing offense.
Oh, my goodness. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and is it Kyle Pitts or Waddle or LSU, man?
Yeah, Jamar Chase.
Chase, yeah.
I like Kyle Pitts. I do. But I'm not finna get rid of Amari Cooper and roll out with Kyle Pitts, Jarwin, Lamb, and Gallup. I'm not finna do that. I'm not. And there's nobody that's gonna dictate that particular lineup as it relates to lining them up, lacing them up on that defense. They're going to play everything straight up then. Gallup is good. I like Gallup, but he's not a player that they're going to say, man, we're going to roll coverage his way. They're going to lock it up, man it up, and say, okay, one-on-one, Gallup destroys you, he just destroy you. But the safety over the top, if you can get there in time, make him pay. And we know Gallup is not going to get no calls. We seen last year, Lamb, he didn't get no calls. And I'm not saying that he's going to all of a sudden get calls this year, but we seen him against the Arizona tape. Look it up. He got murked before he even turned around for the ball, and the officials had Ray Charles vision. Stephen Wonder's glasses on. And I'm not saying that you don't do that just because of those things, but we didn't get a chance all last year to see CeeDee Lamb line up on the outside. I can guarantee you can't find a gang of tape of CeeDee Lamb lining up on the outside even at his college because they motion him, they put him inside. CeeDee Lamb, and I'm not trying to dog the brother because I think that he's brilliant. I think that he's awesome. I think that he's amazing. But CeeDee Lamb, if you look at his scouting report, he have issues off his release. So what they do to disguise it, they put him inside, they put him in motion, they make sure they get a free release because they didn't want nobody to jam him. Maybe, just maybe, and he can kill you if you miss wrong. Look, everybody know when a wide receiver you miss wrong, they're going to make you pay. But that's not his strong suit. When he's at the top, when he's climbing on his routes, when he sink his hips, when he's fighting for the ball, that's what makes CeeDee Lamb dangerous. What makes him more dangerous is after the catch. He's just explosive. He explodes, man, like a cannon. But you got to figure out, you got to be crafty enough to do that. And what teams did in college and what the Cowboys did all last year, they said, yeah, man, but we ain't going to put you on the one-on-one to the outside on the edge by yourself. No, they just didn't do that. I would feel more comfortable, I kid you not, Cowboy Nation, if last year I've seen CeeDee Lamb take over Michael Gallup's position and they kick Michael Gallup in the inside as a slot guy, which I don't think that that's his nuance. He's not a nuanced route runner in those likes, but that's a story of a different day. And they would have did the situation like that, I'd have felt more comfortable. But I'm not finna blindly go into this thing and try to say, okay, CeeDee Lamb can do it all. No. And I think that CeeDee Lamb is that cold to do it, but that's experimenting. Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is a slot receiver, nothing more. This is from James Frazier. I'm not gonna put him. Look, I'm not gonna put him in that box. I'm not gonna put him in that box. But dog it was a game that we have to look at and say, okay. But he was a rookie too. He was a rookie too. So I'm not gonna put him in that box of saying that I'm not gonna limit it CeeDee Lamb. I'll be foolish to do that. I'll be crazy to do that because I think that kid is special. I think that I can't wait to see how much bigger he's going to be and explosive he's going to be. I can't wait to see that. I cannot wait to see that for the 2021 season. And I want some consistency with him for 2021 season. I want to see him not play basketball with the football. I want to see him hold on to the football. And I think that he would do just that. I think that he's young. I think that he's going to be hungry. I hope nothing, and I wish nothing but the best for him, right? Let's pull up CD. This is CD's information right here. Yes, he's 22 years of age. Shout out to CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma. Yeah, and you see right here, man, he was so close to getting that stack. He had 74 receptions, 935 yards, 12 yards per reception, 58 yards a game. Trust me, I had him on my fantasy team, and I was whooping butt all last year. He had 5 TDs. That's not bad as a rookie, man. He had 2 fumbles and 8 drops. And I remember majority of those drops, some of those passes was like, come on, man. They counted that as a drop. He had to climb the doggone ladder, man. That ball was going to hit the cameraman. And one drop, it was a crucial one. It was in the end zone. What team was that against? Y'all remember that one? I think we catch that ball, it would have been a different outcome of the game. It was in the end zone, and the ball hit him square in the chest, right between the 8 and the 8. And he said he lost track of the ball. But he practiced on those things. And I think that what I want to see out of this number, I'm a hard grader. I want to see 0 next year for the 2021 season, but I was settled for 2. All I want to see is 2 drops. 2 drops next season. Well, this season. It could still be at 74 receptions. That's a good number. But dog it, if he get 84, that would be a plus. And I think he's going to get a stack. He's going to get a stack, man. He's going to get a stack. I think he's going to be even more explosive this year. Yeah, I think he's going to feel more comfortable. Oh, I forgot the numbers are going to be inflated anyway. We got an extra freaking game. So all of this stuff I'm talking about is nothing, right? Right. Nothing, right? Just all of this stuff is for nothing, right? For the birds, right? Because you're going to have an extra year. Yeah. So it's going to be all right. Shout out to you, Miss Jessica. Appreciate you. Get some rest, Miss Jessica. Let's go.
That is an awesome wide receiver core. If you can't win with that, you're dependent upon Amari Cooper? You need the 8th best wide receiver in the NFL instead of like the 3 guys who are between 15 and 30?
You'd rather have it, wouldn't you?
Yes, but
I don't want to downgrade the best part of my team on purpose.
Yeah, I'm worried about him getting hurt, and I don't think the difference between him and some of the other guys you have on the roster is that big. You're getting younger at a spot, you're saving a ton of money, and you are risking a small downgrade. But that's the name of the game in the NFL. What high-paid veteran can we replace and take a small shot on a younger guy and then deal with the learning curve as he gets back to it? 817, I'm with you, Gavin. Preach. Thank you.
I
needed that on a Friday.
Yeah, one guy opinion. All right, so who agrees is Gavin, right? Who agrees with Gavin? You get rid of one of your better suits as it relates to your wide receiver core and you go grab somebody else, the unknown. To get better in that particular light. Who agrees with Gavin? Put AG. I agree with Gavin. Put AG in the chat if you agree with Gavin. Or IAG. I agree with Gavin. IAG. I want to see IAG in the chat if you agree with this guy. That you get rid of. It's equivalent to saying, okay, let's get rid of Tyron Smith and we'll roll with Connor Williams and we'll go draft the guy. I don't know, man. Nobody. Y'all reach out to the man. Jim, I know what FG stands for. Come on.
I tell you what, boy, I appreciate that text. It's intimidating when Jeff and Brian look at you like you're crazy.
He said, Jeff and Brian, if y'all can just see that clip, man, I'm going to post a link to this clip. Y'all can fast forward to about, oh, my God, let me post a link to this clip. Fast forward to about 6 minutes, and no, go to like 5 minutes and 45 seconds of this clip, and just watch how Brian Brothers and Jeff Kavanaugh is just looking at Gavin like, what is he talking about? Let me just go right here. Rewind.
817, I'm with you, Gavin. Preach. Thank you. I needed that on a Friday. I tell you what, boy, I appreciate that text. It's intimidating when Jeff and Brian look at you like you're crazy.
I'm trying to keep my eyes forward. I really am. I'm trying not to make eye contact. I'm just looking forward here.
I think number one receiver is so important, and projecting it onto a guy as a rookie is dangerous business.
We went through like a decade-long place there where the Super Bowl winner wasn't having the superstar wide receiver. I don't know how predictive of winning the Super Bowl the star wide receiver is.
Oh, I don't think it is, but I think that's hard at any position.
That's a hard press, man.
Right? Like, who were the cornerbacks on that team? And then you'll find teams that had boo-boo, and you'll find good ones. And I just think it's all about, and that part of your point I totally get, because it's all about balancing your resources in a way to give yourself the best team. That's what it's about. I would fear life without a legit number
So
one.
at 10, we're definitely taking receiver though, right? If you did this,
In that scenario, I would. Yeah.
if we move on from it,
And it'd be fun. It'd be exciting. It's like CeeDee Lamb. I believe he's going to be a stud. But we saw with like guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, you can have 1,200 yards, and then the actual number one leaves, and it turns out, oh, you were number two all along, weren't you? And I don't want to find that out about my guys.
626 comes in here and says Jeff's neglecting the obvious. CD could be better this season than Amari was playing, and he was playing better than him until Dak went down. You did predict he'd be the best Cowboys wide receiver at this point.
I did.
214, Gavin, you're an idiot.
No,
All right, that's good.
No, 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 no.
Oh my God. They're killing him. They're killing him. Yeah, they killing him, man. That was crazy, man. All right, so in this draft, the Cowboys need to just go out there, grab the best player available. Let's not trade anything. You got to be early. Like my dog Darren Woody says, you got to go out there and grab somebody early. And just don't waste these picks, man. I like Marcus B. and John A. says, okay, let's not waste these picks. It's funny, though. It's all fun and game. Look, we're not out there on the field. We're just rooting for the team because we are fans, and fans is short for fanatics, and we want the best for this team, Cowboy Nation, and that's just how it goes. But it's just funny to listen into other people's thoughts and opinions and how they kind of cluster them together and put it out there to the universe. My thing is, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this once again. Whether it's Darius Washington or if it's Bledsoe or it's even the kid that everybody said, Parson, we just want them to be better than the guys that we had out there on the field last year. So if Parson can be better than Joe Thomas week one, then that's a plus for us, right? Which would be far-fetched at this time because he had to learn the system and learn a whole bunch of things, but it could happen. And if Darius Washington, if he can play better as far as a mentality, regardless of his size, better than Xavier Woods, then that's a plus for us. Or Darian Thompson, that's a plus for us. If we go draft a Patrick Surtain, number 2, you know what I'm saying, PS2, can he play and fill in a role that's better than a Rashard? Y'all remember him? Robinson? I mean, good Lord. I was sitting there like, man, where's Reggie? If he could come in and play a better role than him, then we are okay. Okay, if we go with Slater, Christian Darrisaw, Elijah Vera Tucker, if we go with one of those guys or even Sewell Falls or all of these things, if they can come in and be better than a Terrence Steele, man, then that would be a better situation for us. Can I go on and on? Even if we draft a Kyle Pitts, if he can showcase being healthy, line up outside and inside, and perform better than a Schultz or do something similar to what Jarwin did, then we are in a better situation. Do you guys get what I'm coming from when I say this? So the draft is meant for developing, but 9 times out of 10, as far as the defensive guys, the interior guys, normally you see them making movements around 2 to 3 years down the line. Most of the time, draft picks the first year, they might show us something, but then again, they will still have those rookie mistakes. I remember listening to a podcast with the great Gil Brandt, and he says a rookie is going to cost you at least 1 to 2 games as a loss. He said that from his mouth into our ears. And trust me, when Gil Brandt talked, we got to listen. The guy been around football longer than I've been alive and even thought about playing the sport or even watching the sport. So I take that to truth. A rookie going to cause you games. So that's why you're going to have those growing pains. But you got to have a rookie with this mindset. I got a mindset of a short-term memory. When we saw Trayvon Diggs get burned for the first few weeks, he had to have that short-term memory, but he was hungry. He played through the echoes of the whistle. Any DB could have gave up when DK Metcalf took the top off the defense for crying out loud, but he didn't give up. And although we lost that game, we saw hard determination, will, and we saw tenacity, and we saw a guy that was going to play through the echoes of the whistle to punch that ball out. And it took them, some penalties that that came about in that game and some other questionable calls. And I ain't going to go into details of it, but the Sea Chickens won. Shout out to them. What they want, a cookie? But it is what it is. So Eddie says, okay, you like the Ohio State kid. I feel you, fam. Yeah, if anybody can be better than what we seen last year, that will be a plus for us. That's why it's so important. It's so important for the Cowboys to look into this free agency and make sure that they can get some guys that can fill in some of those holes, right? And so when you look into the draft, you can have somebody that you can sit back and say, I'm going to develop you slowly now. I don't have to rush you out there. See, KZ is going to be able to help whatever safety we got so that he can show them some ropes and say, okay, this is where you got to be at with the ball, with this concept, and this when you slide down inside, this is where you got to be at on this type of situation, and this is what you got to follow me on when they're in practice. And hopefully in practice, the real dog come out and show themselves, and all of a sudden you seeing like, dang, this rookie is now starting over the starter. It can happen that way. Well, it's supposed to happen that way, but, there's a lot of politics in this game. Really appreciate everybody for jumping in and tuning in. My name is Law Nation. I absolutely love you guys for being part of this Friday show, for being – how long I've been live. I know it's been long, but if you guys are out here, do something special for me. Just hit that like button. It does something special to the channel. Share this content. Look, we got to have a difference of opinion. Not everybody should have the same opinion. I always say those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still, but we still got to have different opinion, different thoughts. Some people don't like facial hair, right? And I got a face full of it, right? So that's a difference of opinions, And that's just how it goes, Cowboy Nation. Really appreciate you guys. You guys just don't know, man. I grew up in a city called Natchez, small town, population of 24,000, a little bit north of that now. And we didn't have everybody Cowboys fans. We had a few Saints fans, 49ers fans, Green Bay Smackers fans, even had a few, I said 49ers, Carolina Panthers fans. They were just multiple fans, but of multiple teams. Some people just fans of anybody that beat the Cowboys, but I stay true to my team. Hey, long-suffering is one of the fruits of the Spirit, so I know I got a lot of spirit in me. We've been suffering since 1995, but we still stay true to our team. We don't fold up like wallets and lawn chairs. Appreciate you, Eddie O. Shout out to you, OT Payne. Appreciate you. Sheldon Richardson, we need him, but they don't want to pay for him. They want cheap stuff. They want Dollar General. They want Walmart specials, clearance racks. That's what they want. Marshalls, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Because I'm going to go to TJ Maxx and Marshall myself and be looking for items and clothes and stuff to wear and look gadget and gizmos. Matter of fact, you see this nice little holder right here? I got this from TJ Maxx or Marshall, one of those stores. And it's a good little holder thing, man. Hold your cell phone up. Cool little doohickey, as they say down here, in the country. Doohickey. I can have my cell phone up, and let me switch to another camera. And bam, you guys can't see it because I got the comment section over here. Let me just, bam, you see? I can read the comments there. That's cool, man. That's cool. Got that from TJ. You can find some little things, man, that you can get that can help you out. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that thing goes, Cowboy Nation. You got to always figure out ways, right? Let me see. Yeah, there you go. You always got to figure out ways. Uh-oh, still on the wrong camera. Here you go. Bam, there we go. So Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree got some good stuff. But here is the thing. Here's the analogy. You can't depend on it, right? Right? You can't depend on it. You just buy little small things, right? But you can't depend on those things, man. Santi says, Law, we need a new video on the beard channel. Look, this is what I'm going to do with the beard content. I know that it's for one, I love giving people advice about how to grow their beard and what they need to do to grow their beard and his advice. But what I'm going to do is because it's a lot of work juggling two channels. I'm on Law Nation 2.0 and Law Nation's page. And YouTube got this verification factor that you got to go in. You got to do this to do that. And then you got to make sure. Then they think that you're hacking into somebody else's account. So what I might do And I want people to understand that I'm also on a Newsbreak app. They reached out to me, and it's good content. They said, man, marvelous content. We love all what you do. Is there any way you can talk sports, other sports like basketball, hockey, soccer, and all of these good things? I'm like, nah, man, I just love my lane. This is a hobby for me. This is not my day job, right? So I said, man, I just love talking Cowboys because it gives me a little relief, right? I talk Cowboys. I talk to myself about Cowboys if I could, or if I used to do it anyway. So my thing is, they said, man, but you got so much talent. Just think about it, Law. Think about it. Just think about it, Law. Think about it. and I said, okay, I went and got me a green screen, and what I'm gonna do is I might cover the basketball, but I'll just push it out to that app. But I was thinking, and I was sitting to myself, I got a beard channel that I don't have time to upload content because I got to go through all of the verification crap. So what I'm gonna do is I might do this, Cowboy Nation, for those who just roll with the nation. Maybe on Wednesdays, I'll upload a pre-recorded video for 3 to 5 minutes on beard tips at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock time, Central Standard Time, PM, and it just be beard tips. And you don't have to watch it. I know a lot of people say stick to football, Law, but it's people out there that want to know. And if people roll with me, man, y'all just roll with me. If not, then you don't, so it will be out there on the channel. I try not to, man. I see the stuff that goes on in the world, the school shooting, the shootings in general, I meant to say, and the protests and the Black Lives Matter, people with flags and pro this and pro that. I try not to talk about that on this channel, although I can. People that know me personally, they say, hey, man, how you feel about this? I can go that route, but I just try to have a different type of vibe. People use their platform for different reasonings. I had somebody to reach out to me that I knew that when I posted DMX clips, they said, oh, you clickbaiting. You doing this thing for views. And I'm sitting like, dog, you don't even know me. I grew up listening to DMX. I grew up rocking his music. I grew up, why you think I got dogs for crying out loud in my doggone soundboard? But people would like to generalize you and put you in a box and say that's all you do. That's all you do. It's Cowboy stuff. And I'm like, nah, dog, I'm a diehard basketball fan. I'm a diehard sports fan in general. And I'm quite sure I can still lace them up and run with the best, So it is what it is, Cowboy Nation. Let's continue to grind and shine. Jim Law says 59 is still growing. Yeah, appreciate you, Jim. See, you got to grow that beard thing, man. Appreciate everybody that's watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content. Let a friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and beyond, right? Let's go. Really appreciate y'all. Let's get some more conversation tomorrow. I'll see y'all bright and early in the morning, and we'll do some more talking about the stuff that's around the Cowboys land and beyond. All right, I'm trying to find my outro music. Y'all know how that goes, right? I need to just have it on a Rolodex over here. Lance Bell, appreciate you, man. Y'all hit that like on your way out, man. That does something special for the algorithm, yeah. And then also, this will be uploaded on the Law Nations 2.0 to keep the water rolling over there. And I appreciate those who understand. I know when I premiere it, people think that it's live, but it's not. I know it's weird, but I got to do that until June the 2nd. The liberation for the nation will not occur to June the 2nd. And I really appreciate those who understand. And let me find it. If I can find it. I need to just have a shortcut key. Here we go. Yeah. I tell y'all, man, I need fire. I need some fire. Think about this. Let me turn it down even more. 'Cause I want this to. There's people who's been operating a YouTube channel for 5 to 6 years. And they stayed at 50 to 60,000 subscribers, or even on the Facebook. But then they just do one video, and people start to look at them and say, hey, this person got talent. This person is amazing. They grinding. Let me support them. Let me elevate them. Then you look back a year later, they got 1 million subscribers. They got 2 million subscribers. But the struggle is necessary because now they humble. They still interact with their fans. They still interact with the people that support them. I'm quite sure that I hope that you guys would never, ever think that I would have the big head. But my day is coming. My time is coming, Cowboy Nation. And the Cowboy Nation time is coming too. I say all of this. I want people to continue to live their dreams. It's possible. I want you to pull out your cell phone. If you're thinking about talking about the Cowboys, it's never not enough room. This room is big, man. Y'all get out here. I love it when I see new content creators creating content, grinding, understanding that it'd be 4 people watching while they live. But it's not about the people. It's about your heart and determination. If you put your mind to it, that 4 people go out there and reach out to 4 other people. And before you know it, it's 50 people. And then you look back before it's 50 people, it's 1,000. 1,000 turned to 10,000. It can all happen. But don't just look at the people as people, but look at them as your brother, your cousin, your sister. Ashaniqua, Tyrone, Pookie, and Ray Ray, right? But let's continue, Cowboy Nation. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all other things tawdry and cheap for it, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror of God or man for it, if you would simply, just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, or famish, or fame, or sickness, or body, or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset it with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, you will get it. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Turn me up. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
This is
ice cream. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him
Right.
it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she ice. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos. Hit the door and the doorman just
Let's go. Shout out to you, Jay Reese.
But I move like a
Joey,
to my lawyer, the
IQ.
If you're down in my management,
Oh, what you know about that? Let's go.
Different colors in my baggy light.
Come on.
Chalk it up. Talk of the town where you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you talking
Dallas
up.
Cowboys,
Wanna get you
let's
new
go.
things with your pockets dull. Run
Chuck.
it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and
Appreciate you,
promote cause. They hating and
Constantine,
jealousy. My
keeping
mama
it
telling me
mean.
count up your blessings and run it up. Nowadays nothing
Let's
really
go.
excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she ice. Freeze.
Let's go.
Photo. Please. No photos.
Santine,
G's.
Caleb, let's go.
Please. No photos. I keep giving game away.
Yeah.
I put game on layaway.
All right.
I got paid to play today.
Dollar
I get
Tree
paid to stay
special.
away. I get paid on rainy days. I might make it rain today. I got paid off pain today. Thought it'd take the pain away. In my own lane, finger roll. I would never sell my only soul. Heard your whole team was for sale. Heard
Nope.
it's on the market for the low. Who the realest, we might never know. All this
No.
acting, you gon' play a role. Give you the world when they sign you up. Try you out and then they line you up. Ooh. Now you're looking hungry, ribs are touching, need some food. Now you're all on live acting surprised, but you was fooled. Boy, get out the way, it's been a day, now you're old news.
That was
now
easy.
You got the pen and pad,
Go.
you trying to take my moves. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she freeze.
And we out. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Uncle Charles, I appreciate you. Let's go.